We are the DFPN. Always question the answers.
No Gimmicks Podcast, and we bring it to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down, this the time to move around. No Gimmicks Podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring. This is the time for the No Gimmicks, no, we doing our thing. What's your state of mind? State divine. Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar, the F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit, what's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on, this the time. Guarantee we move, you know how we respond. The state is line, the state design when we feel it. Moving down, what's the healing? No gimmicks is the feeling.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks Podcast here on the DFPN. And you know what it is, man. It's Thursday. We got MPX on their weekly. We got a stacked card coming up this weekend off of a very good card. Also, this weekend is May the 4th. So we have some events going on around that. So if you're a Star Wars fan, it's a great time right now. I know this is like time. It's like a holiday, the 4th. May the 4th be with you. So
and also with you.
Yeah, man. So we're here to talk about it. Joining me as always, the choice Matt Andrews. Welcome back, buddy. How you been?
Oh man, it's been good. Been waiting to talk about some stuff. I'm glad to see that we've already got some listeners there engaging in the chat. We love to see that. So very excited to be talking wrestling with you once again, Galvin, whether it be on the national scene or whether it be in our own backyard.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And before we do dive into the card, as usual, we want to get some wrestling talk out of the way. One of my first things, because we didn't have our normal show this week, but I do want to talk about this because it's become a topic of conversation.
Okay.
And it is The Rock's comments. So him and Dave LaGreca have been going back and forth over the net. And so he came out on his IG. He responded to something that Dave LaGreca said about his appearance at WrestleMania. His appearance, obviously, his lack of appearance, it created an issue around WrestleMania because it was one of the biggest events. His involvement in the angle that was one of the biggest turns since Hulk Hogan, and we get nothing from him after that. But he responded to Dave LaGreca basically saying, hey, we know it's not real. We know it's a work. Everything we do is a work. I want to know from you, because you've put your body on the line for this. You've bled for this. You've sweated for this. You're still involved with this. How did those comments from The Rock hit you as someone who used to do this? Or you still do this as someone who still does
I know. I have a feeling I'm going to catch heat for this.
Oh.
But when you boil it down, right, and you are trying to attract the common audience member, right? Somebody who's not in the know. You're trying to expand your audience, get to those places where people don't know necessarily what it is that we do. You kind of have to dumb it down. Nobody has to ask Ryan Reynolds, right? You know, what is that you do, right? Nobody has to ask Ryan Reynolds, like, oh, is that real? Oh, is that is that work or anything like that? People just know, right?
Right.
But people also know that, like, they go to the movies. It's kind of like the whole argument against people that say that, like, oh, wrestling's fake. Well, what's the first thing that you say to them, right? It's like, do you go see movies? Do you go see TV shows? Right? Isn't that scripted? Do you not go on these emotional roller coasters with all of these people? Isn't Rock just saying kind of what we all say to those friends and those people that don't get wrestling.
That's an
right?
interesting point. That's a very interesting point.
And like I understand it from our side, right? From the boys' side, it's like, man, you kind of just killed all of our vibes. But like,
Yeah.
if you stick around, and I hope I don't catch too much heat in my home promotion for saying this, but if you stick around after an MPX show, I mean, who's out there meeting and greeting with the fans and the kids, right?
Yeah.
You see Demo out there, and I mean, sure, he's in character, but he's still interacting with the kids, right?
Right.
This isn't 1980. This isn't the time where the heels have to ride together and the faces have to ride together. This isn't the time where the Iron Sheik can actually get death threats death threats or be shunned from going into a Waffle House because people are like, that guy's really a bad guy. It's kind of an acknowledgement. And I think the way he went about it was wrong. I still don't agree with the fact that he wasn't at WrestleMania. I mean, if you're the freaking owner of a company and your biggest event is going down, you need to be there in some form or fashion. I also don't like that he apparently admitted that there was no long-term plan for the whole, I want your soul, Cody Rhodes thing.
Right.
I hate that. I absolutely despise that. That's like when you corner a writer of your favorite TV show and like a super unpopular thing. Like if it was The Walking Dead, right? And you cornered the writer and you asked, why did you kill Glenn off? And it was just like, sounded like a great time to boost ratings.
Yeah.
Like I would hate that.
Right.
So I don't like that necessarily, but him saying that like, hey, it's all the work. If you really have a problem with it, then come on in and let's talk about the discussion. Let's put your mind at it. I think that's a weird move though, because now you're inviting somebody else to like come in and join in the creative process, and that's not typically a good idea. That's too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing.
Right.
But like, I'm not as vehemently like opposed to what he said as I know some people are. Just because like I said, we kind of all say it anyway. Like when we have to explain to people why we do it, we kind of all say it anyway. So that's where I stand on that. I don't even know if that was a good political answer to not really answer your question, but that's what I gave.
No, it makes sense because there is like one of my biggest issues as a wrestling fan is like somebody will come out and say that, right? It's not real. But I'm like, dude, and even me subconsciously, and you brought up The Walking Dead, right? So when Glenn got killed off in The Walking Dead, there was just like this big uproar. If something happens in Game of Thrones, like people are going to naturally spaz out.
Yeah, the Red Wedding.
Right. Right. So if something like that happens, you come out and be like, that's not real. And but people feel those emotions. So as a wrestling fan, it's like I'm invested in it. Don't tell me. For me, it's like, and I guess I'm kind of old school in that sense. It's like don't tell me how the cake is made. Let me enjoy the cake.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like I know, but let me enjoy it. I don't need you to come out and say, hey, this isn't real. That's just me and how I feel about it. But
it's like when people interview Jackie Chan and then they realize that he does his own stunts and stuff, right? There's a newfound level of respect for that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's confusing to me, and I still don't know what the different, like why do we hold pro wrestling in a different atmosphere than that? Whether you're on the wrestling's fake side or whether you're on our side where we're defending what we do, like why do we draw such a distinction between what pro wrestlers do and then what people like Jackie Chan and other stunt people do, where they're doing their own stuff, putting their own lives on the line, all for the sake of entertainment?
Yes,
it's the same thing. I guess I just don't understand the big uproar as far as that goes, except for the like super old school guys that are like, no, the Undertaker really was a dead man. It's like, man, okay.
No, and that too, and it's like, so you have things like that, and then the WWE Unreal show that's coming out, that's taking you all the way behind the scenes, going into the creative process. They even had the WrestleMania card that they didn't finalize it. They showed you that the card that they were working on, and looking at it, I'm like, dude, you should totally went with this card, but I don't want to see that because really I wasn't really that high on this past WrestleMania, but seeing the card that they actually had, I'm like, why didn't we get this card? So and it's things like that, but I guess that's where the industry is going. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm all the way a fan of that, because again, it's like you get these shows and then you get the behind the scenes. I don't really stick around for those because I'm like, the show was good. I don't need to see the behind the scenes and how everything was made. I know what I saw was good, and I know what I saw wasn't good. I don't need the hoopla, the pageantry of going behind the scenes. That's not what I'm here for. But again, I notice not every fan's like me, so teach his own.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to respond to the chat comment there from Nightmares there. It's not okay to shit on the writers. Totally agree with that, by the way.
Agree. Yeah.
I think the Rock's comment, that's the other part of it, right? The Rock's comments were totally like, hey, come on in and sit with us, the writers, and not mentioning the guy who is the content officer. Like, damn, like that. What kind of real life heat is that? That's crazy.
Dude, they had a thing for years.
Oh yeah, but it's like, it's like freaking CM Punk and Triple H can put their differences aside and work that kind of thing out, and it's been a fantastic product. And now you've got somebody who owns the company that, like, this should be a perfect match. It's definitely not so far, right?
I have no idea why it's not.
Yeah. I think another question I want to pose to you about this, and I know we got other stuff to get to, but like, is Chris Van Vliet good for wrestling or bad for wrestling?
Depends on who you ask.
I love it.
It depends on who you ask.
But again, I'm involved in the business. So I hear these guys telling their stories, and I'm like, yeah, I can relate to that. Mm-hmm. But it's not the first. It's not the first time we've seen stories like that come to light, and having the curtain peel back a little bit. I'm looking over at my little bookcase over here, and there's a Tales from the Road, a WWE like compilation of road stories. And like, I eat that stuff up. I love hearing about life on the road, and so. Yeah, I think it's okay to pull back the curtain. That's the kind of stuff we love to see. We just don't like to tell other people that it's not. But yet we do. It's so
exactly. But yeah, on that note, you're absolutely right. Because earlier today, I was looking at a clip of Teddy Long, and he was talking about an activity, and he was in the car with Dick Murdoch and Macho Man Randy Savage. The story was so outlandish. I was like, "There's no way that actually happened." And it happened. But it's like stuff like that is like you don't I like those stories. And if they don't tell them, then I wouldn't actually ask for it. But getting them from them voluntarily is absolutely cool to me.
Yeah. You remember on the sorry, and I know I'm keep sidetracking this stuff, but like on the WWE network, they had an animated show. It was like, I think it was WWE Road Trip. And it was the wrestlers telling all these road stories while there were animated clips telling it, and it's like, we love that. We love that. So like, why are we crapping on somebody that says, hey, everybody knows it's a work? It's like, oh, you spoiled it. And I'm like, did you really?
You're right. He's a table
for three. Absolutely,
I love those shows.
Table for Three. Yeah.
Even Legends House was pretty cool to me because they brought in old stories from when they were active. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So
I just wish they hadn't opposed that like a reality show where people get kicked off and whatnot. It's like, okay, you could have just had all the legends sit there and just
tell stories.
Let me be a fly on the wall while these guys just sit around and get drunk and tell stories. I'm good with it.
Yeah, me too. But let's move on real quick before we jump into MPX. We did want to bring up another topic, and that is the title reign of Cody Rhodes.
Okay, yes.
we were both in agreement on this one. So we get John Cena. He beats Cody for the title at WrestleMania. His first feud is a very interesting feud because it's a feud that we all know, but the roles are reversed. and it's him and Randy Orton. This is the first time we've ever seen him as the heel versus Randy Orton as the face, with all the history piled up on it. So I'm gonna go right off the bat. I'm gonna agree with something that you said before we got on the show. This first feud for John Cena is probably the more impactful than anything Cody did in his title reign.
And so here's my thought on that, right? And this is why I think that. And I've been wanting to find an outlet to do it. And like, I don't know, I feel like people crap on you all over on Facebook if you post it there. But this first feud is about the title.
Yes.
It's plain and simple. It is John Cena saying he is the last real champ, and Randy Orton going, by the way, here I am. I'm a champ too. Let's fight it out. Like, it's about the WWE Championship, the richest prize in the game. Every single one of Cody's title defenses did not feel like it was about the title. It felt like the title was there.
Right.
It felt like commentary was boosting up the fact that, like, oh, here's the guy that ended Roman's streak. And even that, it wasn't about winning the title from Roman. It was about ending Roman's streak. There was nothing about Cody Rhodes' title reign. That was about the title.
No, that's fact.
Except for him to say, like, this is the title my dad should have won. Okay, great. Cool. Literally nothing else about the title. The stuff with Kevin Owens wasn't. The stuff with AJ, none of it. It was all personal stuff.
Right.
And like, I was like, okay, you're angry. You left. Like, that was the same cadence of promo. Everybody, you left the company. Now you came back. What are you going to do? Cool. But like, it kind of seemed like the title was a backstory.
And to everything else.
And I'm interested in seeing the title elevated. I'm interested in seeing the title mean something. And it didn't feel like it meant anything with Cody.
Right.
So that's my soapbox.
No, I agree with you on that, because I said this before he beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. I was a big advocate of him not winning this title because I was like, it's only to finish his story. It wasn't even about the title then. It was about him finishing his story and Roman Reigns' streak. Those are the two biggest issues. Beyond that, you didn't have anything solid for him afterwards.
Nope.
So my whole thing with going into WrestleMania 40 is, okay, he beats Roman Reigns, then what? And I hate asking that question because for me, it's like, now I have to fight to stay interested because you've chased and you chased the title and you've got it. It's like a dog chasing a car. The dog finally got to the car. Okay, what now? So
it's like The Graduate.
Yes.
Right? You know, the final scene in The Graduate. They're sitting in that limo. They just got married. They did the super taboo thing, and they kind of look at each other and go,
what now?
Right. I would have enjoyed it so much more if they had pulled a Tommy Dreamer with Cody Rhodes.
Oh, I like that too.
Where he wins the title, and it didn't have to be the same night. Well, like, he wins the title, but then the next night on Raw, he's so happy about finishing the story, he forgets about the title, and now here comes somebody that actually deserved the title shot, comes up, takes the title from him. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, kid. Maybe think about the title and not just your story next time. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then, for me, WrestleMania 40 should have went different. That was my first issue. Sure. But I get the fans can derail plans. It's happened before with Daniel Bryan, and you know, things happen. So I get that. But me, I wanted Roman versus Rock at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah. That was so too.
That was my request. And now it looks like we're not going to get it. So
and maybe this is a talk for another podcast. So what would have happened after Rock and Roman? Who do you have win it, and then what's next for them?
You could have had Roman. You could have had Roman beat The Rock definitively at WrestleMania.
Okay.
And if the streak was indeed the priority, which I do believe it was, he could have carried it until at least September, October, That way, I think he passes up Hogan in September.
Sure.
Pass up Hogan, and then you can lose the title to Cody because they have Madison Square Garden coming up, and that's where his dad actually.
See, yeah.
That's where that story came from. So you could have had him lose that title. You could have Roman lose the title at Madison Square Garden. Way bigger impact, and you probably could have set something up because CM Punk was back in the company.
Oh,
so
sure.
Now you could have had Cody versus CM Punk. Like there was so many options on the table that confused me once they got to Cody versus Roman for the second time. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to see this match, but okay, here we go. You know what I mean? So
and they made the best of the situation. And it's just unfortunate where we are now with the lack of direction, kind of for this championship.
Right.
And I mean, so kind of thank God for Cena and having this storyline of being the 17-time champion. Like I like this.
I love it. Yeah. I love Cena as a heel, and I hope it is my hope that he finishes as a heel. I know that's probably not gonna happen. Sure. But I hope he does.
Yeah.
Because then you go out on your terms. Being at 17, you break the record. You can throw that in everybody's face, what she's doing.
Oh, sure. And nobody's going to come close to it.
Nobody,
Randy could, but I mean, that's not really even that.
Right. So you have the record, you throw it in everybody's faces. You can go out on your own terms.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure he's going to be happy with the result at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man. Like you said, I just want to see him slap the ref to get this.
Oh my gosh! Hey, you want to get some life out of this?
Yeah,
a little longevity in this feud, and yeah, sure, make that happen.
Heck yeah, man! All right, so let's dive in to MPX.
Yes,
we have. First of all, I want to say whoever's making these graphics, fire.
Yeah, man, and that's our guys.
These graphics are fire. I was like, man,
conspiracy graphics and apparel, man. You got to hit them up for everything.
Yeah, they are awesome. So I almost thought this was. I was like, what promotion is it? Because when I first saw it,
right,
I was like, what promotion is this? And I was like, oh, that's MPX. That's awesome. These graphics, but we got a stack card, lights out.
Yep.
And I want to go right to the main event because this is a guy that's facing Demo Diamond for the MPX championship that I have been waiting for him to hit MPX. He has a big buzz around him. He's good. I think this match, if you're in the building, you're gonna be very satisfied with this match. But you have to watch this one because I know it's going to be good. And I know the aftermath of this one is going to be something we talk about for a long time. And that's Demo Diamond versus Danny Orion.
Yeah, absolutely. Danny Orion making waves all throughout Texas, quickly rising the ranks here. And I mean, I know you're not technically supposed to cross promotions or whatever, but Danny Orion voted as the Hot Pro Wrestling Newcomer of the Year. With a very, very well deserved accolade or rising star, whatever it was, but he definitely got an award for being like one of the standout athletes of that promotion. And he's a standout everywhere he goes. The guy is just gifted. He gets it. He's got the charisma. He's got the athleticism. He knows the spots. He knows how to bring the crowd into it. And this is going to be a fantastic match. It is because you got Demo who just keeps getting better and better. I disagree with so much of what he does sometimes, but and I know this is the pun, you can't deny that Demo is on top of the freaking world right now.
You can't deny it.
Yeah.
Can't deny it.
And I don't think Danny's going to be able to take the title from Demo, but he's gonna make it look real close.
When I saw this matchup, I was super excited because I know how hard both guys have worked. I know how good both of these guys are, and for them to be paired together in this match, oh my goodness, this is gonna be a banger.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a definite banger.
Yeah, beyond a shadow of a doubt. I think we've also got another great great match in the tag team title picture as well.
Yep.
Right. We see the return of Sagan Manning, right? And man, if you didn't see how Sagan and Manning won the tag team championships last week, you got to go back and see it, because it was a very begrudgingly won championship from Tatum Manning, which it looks like he kind of instantly regretted. But at the same time, Tatum, you got a championship out of it. Dave's kind of pointing you in the right direction. I'm just saying. I don't know. This may not be the
last week. I was like, I wonder how much this is going to mean to him. Sure. He regretted it immediately, but he's got gold. That's something he hasn't held in a while. So
it's an interesting story, right? And one that we see play out in mainstream wrestling, but also in a lot of modern day movies and TVs. Like, how far are you willing to compromise your morals and values to be able to get to the top of whatever industry you're in? And right now, it doesn't look like Tatum's too happy with the fact that he has championship gold in House Sagan, and maybe it just goes even further because he didn't have championship gold outside of House Sagan.
Right.
Maybe the disappointment's there, and not so much that it's with House Sagan. Maybe it's just the disappointment that, like, damn, I couldn't do it by myself, but here I am with these guys, and they helped me get it done.
I know that pride in him is killing him. I've talked to him before, and the road he was on, for anybody that doesn't know, when he was MPX champion, he did some dastardly things to keep that title. He lost himself. Yes. Yes. He admitted he lost himself going down that road. So when he came back as this fresh, renewed Tatum Manning, he realized he had lost everything. He was working hard to get it back. Lo and behold, he's fallen back into this pit of, now I'm in House Sagan. My actions are leading us down this road again. He is regretting it, but he has gold. So,
gold.
So how bad is it for him? And how much does he not like that feeling?
It's such an interesting wrinkle to this story, because, like, you and I had talked several weeks ago about the fact, like, oh, Manning's just going to go in there and try to destroy House Sagan from within, right? That's the only logical way this story goes. And apparently not. So very interested to see how their first title defense goes against a debuting team. I love debuts. I love when we get to show people the MPX addicts. I love when we get to show people like that we get to be the weekly running wrestling show in Texas. So very excited to see these two come down here. Interesting that we have two people who spelled Jackson the same way on the same show. But
I was looking at that too.
Very excited to introduce myself to these guys, and it's their Texas debut as well. So I know MPX addicts like to show out and make some noise, and I'm hoping that they do this time around as well, and kind of give these guys a good welcome.
I think this is going to be a very, very good match. Very good match. Another good match on this card too. There is no bad match on this card. Let's just say that.
Let's get that out of the way. Yeah.
There's no bad match on this card. Jackson Stone versus Levi Lucas.
Oh yeah. The big presser coming back. Not having been a part of anything in Set 6's world in the last couple of shows in, right? But seeing Levi come back against Jackson, whose last match was in defeat against Demo Diamond, right? So, it's good to see Jackson continuing to get reps, because we saw him in that first match, we saw him in a pre-show match, and after that he was gone for a little bit, and I was like, oh man. I kind of wonder if that was it for him. And so now to see him go up against Demo and now go up against Levi, I like that Jackson is getting more involved, re-involved into MPX and into wrestling.
Yeah. I love that too. And I love that he's starting to challenge himself. He really came out of the box firing, but I like this matchup because it gives me a chance to see where Levi Lucas is in the scheme of things too. I love this matchup.
Yeah, I kind of want to see if there's anybody from set 6 that's going to be around Levi in this match. I don't believe Man's on this card, or not anywhere that I've seen or anything. We know Demo's got his hands full there with the championship match. And it'd be interesting to see if Levi just comes out all alone, right? And what is this kind of a trial thing for him with set 6? I mean, is this something that he needs to do to kind of prove himself to get up the ranks and whatnot? So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, most definitely. Another match I'm keeping my eye on. This is an interesting matchup too. Brother Kaimi.
Oh yeah.
Versus Chip Mandalay.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Chip in a long time. I love this matchup.
Yeah, it's the early access match. We haven't seen Chip in a long time in an MPX ring. I actually never knew Chip is in an MPX ring. I know Chip from other places in Texas.
Yep, me
Good
too.
guy. Real savvy in the ring. Kind of understated almost. You kind of don't expect to see the things from him that you end up seeing. And this is going to be the first time we see Kaimi back in a long time, and especially since his turn as the Easter Bunny a couple of weeks ago when he turned his back on Caleb Riley. At least we don't know what his status is with House Sagan. We just know he took out Caleb Riley.
Right.
And Riley isn't even technically a part of House Sagan. So is this a side quest? Is this part of House Sagan's deal? What's up with this? We don't know.
We don't know, but we shall find out.
Yeah, it's going to be a great athletic contest. If you're so inclined to see this match, get that early access package added on to your general admission package, and come out here and see that as a great early access match.
That is a very, very great early access match.
Yeah, the last early access match that I can remember being that must see was the show that I wasn't at, and Angela Armstrong defending the MPX Women's Championship against Maya World. Again, you want to get out for these early access matches because you never know what you're going to see.
Yeah, you do. So yeah, that is a crazy early access match. I love it.
Sure.
And then we got a fatal 4-way, man.
Yeah. The return of Phil Shark. Everyone loves Phil Shark.
I love Phil Shark.
and it's not just a character, and the character's goofy,
right?
Phil Shark coming out in a shark costume, which I spoke with him backstage, and he said that the people in Japan, when he went over there, the people in Japan loved it. Makes sense.
I can imagine.
But you take the shark skin off, and the dude's a freak in the ring. He is absolutely
machine.
He is a machine, 100%. And so he's going to be in there, right, with the returning Leon King. I'm excited to attempt to get his introduction right again this time. Period. And we'll see how that goes. But the rest of the Fatal 4-Way, Julian Alirez, right? Somebody that we've seen in the early access match, but I think this is his main roster debut.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a special moment for the kid, right? So that interesting, because like the first match I think we saw Julian in was tag teaming with Devin Anello, who we're going to see in action in singles match. But he's kind of, Devin's kind of taken it by storm. He's kind of moved up and gone on his own way. So now it's time. Can Julian kind of shine in that same light?
Yeah, I believe he can. And speaking of Devin, you got him versus Jay Fowler.
Oh yeah, the returning Jay Fowler, man. I think this is going to be like a heavy hitting match. I feel.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Two big, super muscular guys who've got a lot of power and a lot of understated athleticism too. I mean, what I love about Devin Anello, and he's definitely one of my top new favorite people in wrestling right now, is that not only has he got the physique and the strength of the bodybuilder, but he's got the explosive athleticism as well that kind of just comes out of nowhere. And it's great. It's great to see, and he gets more confident every single time he gets in that ring.
I can tell. Because since his debut, it's kind of like the nerves are starting to wear off, and he's getting more comfortable being out there and performing. It's very noticeable.
And I know that and I know the guy works super hard at his craft, not just with his physique and all that, but he works tirelessly to be innovative in the ring, and to do things that maybe people don't think that he can do.
Right.
That jumping to the top rope, that springboard moonsault that he did, I guarantee you, when he actually hit that and won with that, his confidence just went straight through the roof.
Yep.
He's like, okay, that's
I
another thing in
got
my
it.
tool belt, and I know I can add to it.
Yep. I got it. I got it. And then we got a prospect championship match.
Oh yeah, the brilliant one.
The scoring is looking for gold.
Well, yeah, well, the Scorn, and we have said it so many times, Kelvin, the Scorn has lost their way.
They have.
And
that pains me to say, but they
sure.
have.
We haven't seen Richard Hill around
Nope.
in ages since he lost the title of the man who runs wrestling. But we haven't seen him around the Scorn in so long. And now you've got Tommy Prince, who's off the rails, talking to equipment, talking to walls.
Yep.
Really living up to the whole Mad Prince deal that he is. But it's almost concerning, right? The fact that, like, okay, maybe it's gonna take the Scorn splitting up into singles action here for a little bit to kind of find their way again, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a tough hill to climb for Gabe Wilder, not because he's in bad shape by any stretch of the imagination, but he's going up against a brand new prospect champion who has all the momentum in the world behind him. And it's always good to see the brilliant one, Dylan Cavens. And I fully expect him to have a phenomenal prospect championship reign and put on some great matches to defend that belt.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. He is riding high. So anybody that he faces right after that reign it's trouble for anybody because the things he had to do to get that title, he survived. He ultimately survived all of that to come out a champion, and now him defending is something special. Speaking of champions.
Oh no. Oh man. Okay.
Demo
Hopefully he
Diamonds
didn't
in the
catch anything
chat.
that I said earlier about him.
He said nobody cares about Belen.
Well, like all good things, we put the champ first here on this podcast.
We
so
did.
Demo, you're
We
a little
did.
late. We've already talked about you and your match against You Can't Deny Danny O'Ryan. I don't know if Demo, if you want to type a few things. You're such a fan of podcasts. I noticed you haven't bothered to join us on this one, but if you want to type in your thoughts on Danny O'Ryan in this chat, we'd love to hear it.
I put you over, Demo. I said this match is going to be absolutely it's going to be good. It's going to be a great match. We both said we think you're going to walk out of here the champion, but it's going to be a phenomenal match.
Yeah, I hate you.
I'm trying to get him on the show. So
all right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'll tone it down just a little bit. Demo, you know that you are very quickly becoming one of the best in Texas, and
absolutely
your stock is rising like nobody's business. And I hate to admit that, but it is. I love the way that you carry that championship with pride.
Elevating the title. The man is making the title.
Yep. That's all I'll say about that.
It's good to see. It's good to see. But
we got one more.
The last match on the card.
Yeah.
Put the women and children to bed because Ish is about to get real. This friendship turned bitter rival.
Yeah.
Exodus Prime versus Kari Jai Wright in a non-sanctioned match.
Yeah, those are scary, man. Those are, man, it's scary to think about what Kari is going to end up doing, because that attack from Exodus hit so close, so personally. And the fact that there's like MPX manages wiping its hands clean, right?
Yeah.
You guys do whatever you want to each other. It's going to be interesting to see just how aggressive Exodus ends up being, this being kind of a new side to him that we haven't seen in quite some time, right?
Right.
So has he fully broken out of that previous shell, and has he completely turned himself around to this this spiteful, hateful person that he is now? Or is Kari going to be able to control his emotions? We talk about that a lot on the show.
We
This
do.
is definitely a situation where Kari has to control his emotions.
I'm almost the opposite because it's a non-sanctioned match, which means the things that happened to Kari before he lost that championship to Demo, the things that happened to him, the links that Exodus went to, the things that were done not only to Kari but to his girlfriend, it's hard. For me, it would be hard to keep my emotions in check, knowing that management is wiping their hands clean and this is being allowed to continue. Now, I know this rivalry is bitter. It all revolved around championships and losing them and losing the opportunity to get it, right?
Yeah.
That's the root of this. But in that, you have friends who just now don't like each other and want to do whatever they can to each other, to the point that management is saying, we won't look at this. It won't count against either guy's record. Do what you need to do to settle the score. I'm almost at the point where I'm okay with Kari just releasing the beast and let that be that. But in order to get his revenge, he's got to deal with a guy who doesn't have, you got to fight fire with fire. This guy, Exodus, is proven already. He'll cross whatever line he has to cross.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
my question for Kari is, can you go to that length? Are you willing to go to that length? I think the answer is yes, because so much has been done to him. He almost has to go there.
Yeah. I don't question whether he can or not. I just question whether Exodus Prime will give him the opportunity to. Because I think Exodus is just as driven to get to the top and get to wherever it is that he wants. He's so willing to squish whoever it is that gets in his way.
You're right about that.
I don't doubt that Kari has it in him. I just doubt that he'll get the chance to actually do what he wants to do.
That's interesting. That's very interesting that you say that, because what people, as good as Exodus is, people really do underestimate how smart he is. It's almost between him, Kari, and Demo, they all have that same trait. It's like they're so good, you forget how smart they are, right?
Yeah.
They're so gifted that you just forget, like, they're tacticians in their own right. All three of them.
They absolutely are. They are miles ahead of anybody that they step in the ring with, and now it's just a matter, especially between Exodus and Kari, how far is one ahead of the other?
Right. So this match, I'm glad it's not sanctioned, because I know it's gonna be violent, and between friends who've lost the love for each other, sometimes that love can come back after the fight. I don't think this is going to be the case.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it will. No.
I don't think this is going to be the case. Both men are proven like they're willing to cross lines to get what they need to get. So
for sure, this
is for me. This one and Danny Orion versus Demo, we could come out of this event. These are two potential match of the year candidates that we have on one card, and the whole card is good. So
right, and we know that those two matches are going to happen at the end of the night. So it sounds like a pretty good reason to come out and stay for the entire show and just watch the whole thing. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to having the Addicts there this weekend, welcoming in some people from out of state and showing them what MPX is all about.
Yep. So, yeah, man. Get there. You know the address, 510 Harwood Road, Bedford, Texas. Come on out. Come to, because this pre-show card, this pre-show match is fire, bro.
Yeah.
So come out 7:15. Get the pre-show press pass. I mean the pass. Get it.
Yeah,
go get
absolutely.
it. Add it on. If you're not able to get there, I know we have some people in the chat that are out of state. If you're not able to get here, Twitch,
twitch.tv/Metroplex Wrestling. So,
but please watch this card. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. And if by chance you happen to miss it on Twitch or you happen to miss it in person, don't forget you can subscribe to MPX's YouTube channel at MPX Network, and you'll catch up on some of the card as it's uploaded throughout the week.
Absolutely. All right, sir. We went long today.
We did. We had a lot to talk about. I'm so glad I get to have this outlet with you and to talk this kind of stuff with you. So I'm ever grateful to be part of it.
Absolutely, man. Anything else you want to plug?
No, absolutely not, man. Again, thanks to Sauce for being a sponsor. If you go ahead and grab a pizza before this card, because you're going to need it. This one's going to get all your energy out of it, man.
you're going to need it. This is a banger of a card, man. So
definitely. So thank you again, Kelvin. And addicts, we will see you on Saturday.
Absolutely, man. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Wonderful show. You guys were awesome in the chat. Demo next week. Please hit me. Contact me.
Let's do it.
All right, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, you guys be safe. Take care of each other. Peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks.